It's very slow. There we go. I say this I say this almost every video. I have a gigabit connection, and like it. There we go. It seems like it should be faster, but I know it's got a lot that's happening. Anyways, hello, Travel Start and Shop Travel Start. It's Liz here to do your Sunday travel specials. I'm only going to do two tonight. I'm going to talk about the one we talked about last week because it is a group, and it's a group that was created by Travel Start for people who want to get away. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about guided tours and getting away for people that are in the like 18, 19 to 35-year-old range. It's kind of a specific group of people, and it's a amazing company that caters to that demographic. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Now that I know this is working, I have to leave that one running. Close out some windows so we get a little faster. I hope everyone had a great day. I know lots of people are celebrating Easter and or the resurrection of Christ today. So I hope you had an amazing time with your family and your loved ones. My family celebrates on Friday. We call that the memorial. So whether you're a Friday person or a Sunday person, or maybe you do the Monday afterwards, I hope you have a great day. Okay, so let's get started. I think it's becoming like, let's get back to Travel Start. It's becoming like a rolling joke in my head to see if I can get these streams down. My goal is to do no more than 10 minutes, and the more vendors I do, or the more companies that I show you, the longer the stream, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to try 2 tonight and see how that goes. Also, I have a microphone that I'm using on the video, so hopefully the sound is better. When I checked it, there was a little bit of feedback when I had just plugged it in, and it took a little while to figure out how to get rid of it. I believe I've done that, but if you guys still hear feedback or like a strange little echo, let me know so I can work on it a little more. But I think we have it fixed. Okay, housekeeping is done. So my goal is to give you some travel deals, to give you some ideas for your travel and or vacation, to inspire you to want to get out and see the world, and to want you to do business with Travel Start. So I hope that I accomplished that, and I will keep working towards it every video. Okay, so I'm not going to start with the cruise. Let me just start with the hot deals right now, because that's probably the easiest. Okay, so we work with a company called Contiki, and Contiki, they work with a demographic of travelers that are between the ages of 18 and 35. And of course they are compliant with, say if you're in a wheelchair, or you have some type of a handicap, or maybe a physical malady. But if you have questions about it, just let me know, and we'll try to find a place where you can, go and still enjoy yourself, and not feel like you're missing out or whatever. So it's always good to have companies that are compliant with with the standards for taking care of a person that just has a couple of extra needs. That's all. Okay, so Contiki, right now they're doing 20% off of all 7-day trips. So there is Europe, it's 10 days in 8 countries, Israel, Jordan, Italian Espresso, Argentina, Brazil, Eternal India, and the Hopper West. I'm going to show you the flyer because all you heard was Israel and the locations. As you can see, the days, I'm always like pointing and, sorry, cursor, you guys. So as you can see, the amount of days that the trip varies, and as well as the countries that you'll visit, but it's actually pretty diverse. I myself, there's places in the world I just never had a desire to go and see, but after getting to know Contiki, or their parent company, the travel company, it's opened up my mind to things that I probably would have never done or even thought to have done, because most of us like to stay in our own lane and our own comfort zone. And I'm using myself as an example because I believe that probably resonates with some people. I have a good friend of mine that wants to do Alaska. She likes to do Alaska cruises. She wants to go to cold weathers, or she wants to go to Europe. Or I have no desire to go to Europe. Like, I've never had it, and I don't like cold weather. I'm a hot girl. So we're good friends, and I like warm and she likes cold. And so as I got to get to know this company more, the parent company and Contiki, they've kind of opened up my eyes, and so I believe that could happen for you too. So that was just a roundabout way to say I believe you can have the same experience. Okay, so 20% off on all trips 7 days or more, plus a free night on the London Explorer package on any select European plans. So they don't list everywhere that you go just because it's cumbersome, and most people see all the words and they're like, nah, that's too much, I can't do it right now. But if you want to know the exacts, I can definitely get those for you, and will. So you get a dedicated trip manager, you get a driver, you get local guides, you get accommodations, you get transportation, you get sightseeing that comes along with it. There's also free time, and there's meals. So over 300 trips are available. Now here's the thing. The idea for a guided trip for lots of people, even including myself, prior to getting to know this company, is that when you go on a guided tour, you're going to be on like an old, busted, broke down, like 1970s VW Bug, or some, non-air conditioned, just not so great. And you're going to be sick, and you're going to be like smelling the fumes. None of that exactly makes you want to go on vacation. None of that makes you want to take your family and go. When they talk about that you have transportation, they've said that their buses, after 3 years, they're retired and sold to other companies. So they're never more than 3 years old, your transportation. And these are usually luxury coaches, extra space. They take out a couple of rows, inside of the transportation, so you have ample room and ample space. They told us that, okay, they say local guides. I'm switching subjects on you, but just so you know, transportation is always, it's lovely, and they're, well appointed, and it's not the idea that you have in your head, the stereotype. So let's talk about the local guides. So they talked about the fact that they had a man that retired from the European military, and he's like a paratrooper or whatever, and decided to become a guide with Contiki. He went through the process, he got hired, and after like a month, he was like, I think I want to go back to the military, because they have to have an abundance of knowledge. When they're on your trip, 7 to 10 days, whatever it is, they start a little before the trip and a little after to make sure everything is closed out. They're with you from the morning until the, late at night. And so, of course, they get their time off and whatnot, but these are really long days. If you're used to working 8-hour days, apparently their guides are more like 16, 18-hour days, 12-hour days. They're longer days. Because they're there to serve for you. So that bodes well for the traveler, because you know that you're with an experienced guide. You know you're with a company that demands the highest of degrees of education and commitment to the trip that you're on, and they make sure that you get what you need, and many times they deliver above and beyond that, so that's a great thing. Also, that you have the dedicated driver, so you know who's picking you up and who's dropping you off, and you're not surprised, and you have a new person all the time. And so now you're in a country that you don't know, with a language that you don't know, and you have a new person constantly. This way, it definitely gives you that that feeling that it's just seamless, and you're not stressed out about who's going to be taking care of you and whose care you're in. So that's great. Of course, great places to take pictures, lots of sightseeing, and you also get free time. So you can decide if you want to say, in the beginning it said 10 days at 18 countries. Well, they will have excursions and or things planned in many of these cities. And you can say, well, I'm interested in doing, say these 5 things, but the other 5 days I kind of want to be left, to my own accord. And then of course you have a trip manager that can say, okay, so if you're going to go here, this is what you want to do and stay away from this. And if you're looking for, this type of food, you want to go to a place like this. So you really have that. It's kind of like having a bestie along with you, but they're not with you every single day. So anyways, that is Contiki. As you can tell, this one ends on April 30th. 20% off. It's a great thing to take advantage of. And if you have more questions or just need more information, let me know. It's important to say, though, this company caters to, basically what we call a millennial, but most people don't like to be called, oh, I'm Gen X or I'm a baby boomer. So they cater to the 18 to 35-year-old demographic. They're a little more energy. There's kind of higher energy things that they do on the trips for, the people in this age range, as opposed to maybe you're going to Africa and you might be walking, but, maybe you're not going up the stairs of the Sistine Chapel or something, and you're going up like 10 flights of stairs, something like that. So anyways, great company. They have a really, really good, my brain is in 5 places right now. Sorry. A really good reputation, and their tours, if you look at their websites, if you go onto Facebook or Instagram and whatnot, you will notice how many people have said they had the best trip ever. They made friendships that lasted a lifetime. And, some of these people are just like raving, and they come back over and over, well, at least until they hit 35, and then they graduate to one of the other companies in the travel company. So anyways, I hope you guys like that one, because this one actually really excited me. And for someone who has no desire to go to Italy or Europe or Jordan or Brazil or India or Asia, this is not usually my thing, but I'm telling you, they are amazing, just based on the feedback that you get from, their customers that have traveled on the trips, and their reputation. So that's great. They must be doing something right. They've been around well over 20 plus years. Okay, so I'm going to shut this one down. Actually, I'm going to leave it open just in case I get any questions. If you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the box below. I forgot to share this to my personal page. Give me a second. Here we go. Don't hesitate to ask questions. If you have questions, or if you have, somewhere that you've been dreaming of going and you want, kind of an overview of it, or you want me to do some investigating, please don't hesitate. You can also private message me if that makes you feel more comfortable. So there we go. Sorry. Okie dokie. So, let's talk about the cruise again. So I had a couple videos that went up, and after they went up, there was a lot of information that I put out about them, because in the beginning, when you're doing anything, you want to make sure that your people, know, and they kind of get the high level overview, and they know what they're getting into or what you're proposing that they may want to do. So I wanted to make sure you guys at least had the information. So now that you have the information, I want to show you a video. So it's actually, this trip is not on our screen right now, but just so you know, it's aboard the Norwegian Epic. It leaves March 22nd of 2020. It comes back April 1st, and it leaves from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Norwegian is currently offering $50 deposits for their cruises. I'm putting together a group. I want to have a group of people head out on this adventure together on this voyage. The ship is 155,000 gross tons. That's a very, very big luxury cruise liner. Its capacity is 4,100 people, souls. That's also a lot. It's long and it's big, and it's a lovely ship with lots to do. It was refurbished in 2015, which is important. It's about 3.5 years or so since her last refurb. So, she's up to date. And there is 1,700 crew members on board the Epic. I'm going to show you a video. I love air hockey. That got loud, didn't it? Okay, so consider that a less than 2 minute commercial for the ship. They do have slides on the top deck. They have pools, they have jacuzzis, they have a spa, they have of course a theater, they have fine dining, they have specialty dining, they have dining that's included in the cruise. Actually, so the dining that they have for dinner that's included is still a seated sit-down dinner, and they usually serve something like 3 to 5 courses at that one. And I always recommend that if you haven't done just the dining that's included with the cruise, it's a nice dinner. It's usually something that many people are like, I wouldn't pay, like outside, I'm not going to go for 2 people and spend $300, $400 on a plate, on food for 2 people. Not that that's everyone. I know there are definitely people that do, but it's kind of like, if you're usually like a burgers guy or steak woman, or, you go to Chili's, not that there's anything wrong with Chili's, but you go to Chili's or TGI Fridays or Applebee's or, Mimi's Cafe, whatever, you spend somewhere between like 80 and 150 on food. Just imagine that the food is usually 4 or 5 stars and it's included in your cruise. So that's if you're a foodie, you understand. Yeah. And if you have things that you can't eat, if you're gluten intolerant, or if you're like me and you have GI stuff that's happening, there's certain things that my body just won't eat, won't tolerate. And so I can have it right now and be fine, and then have it tonight and be sick, or have it next week and be sick, and I just never know. So I would have to let my travel pro or myself know, and then let the ship know there's certain things I can't have. And so we can talk about that more if that falls under something that you might need or that you would like, if you decide that you want to book and you want to book into the group. So there's lots of specialty dining. This Cagney's Steakhouse, I said it on the last video. I have one of my sisters makes this like a blue cheese steak and it takes them something like 3 to 6 weeks like of seasoning and whatnot. And they are just in love with this thing. They're steak people. And they went to Cagney's and they were like, I have never had a steak that they just melt. They were really happy about it. So they do have specialty dining. Many times there's a small charge for specialty dining, but it's not anything like astronomical. But definitely, if you're going to go on the ship, you should live a life a little bit. There are multiple bars and lounges, lots of fun stuff. There's always an itinerary, like for the day, there's always lists of things that you can choose from that you want to go and do and not do. And then, of course, with the bars and the specialty dining, there are extra perks that Norwegian is giving you based on the room category that you select, okay? They do have onboard entertainment. These are usually pretty good shows. They're usually interesting and compelling, and they make you want to get out of your seat and dance, or they make you sway, or, whatever. So another item that you can do. Bowling alley is on board if you're a bowling person. Even if you're not, wouldn't it be fun just to go and bowl at sea? My thought is always like, what if the ship rocks and all of a sudden your ball goes, woo? That could be fun. I mean, as long as nobody gets hurt, that could be fun. So they also do have kids clubs so that, so if you're planning on bringing a family with you, they have kids clubs starting at 6 months old on up to 17. Okay, spa. The spa is a big one for me. It doesn't show it on this page, but this one picture is very important to me. And so if you're the type of person that's going to go to the spa and get massages, or, go get manicures or pedicures or teeth whitening or hot rock massage, whatever it is, this might be up your alley. So there is a level on the ship that the spa is located on. Many times those rooms on the same deck as the spa, they cost a little bit more money, but they throw in free access to the thermal suites and the spa. So basically it's kind of like a float spa is how it's what it's likened to. Apparently the jets are pretty strong, and it kind of pulls out the soreness and the tiredness out of your muscles and your body. So I've been to a float spa before, and that's pretty accurate. Usually those passes are something like $69 to $100 a day for the pass, and that pass would be included in your cruise for the first 2 passengers. So this part right here excites me a lot. But of course they have other stuff that you can do: Botox, body composition analysis, etc. And of course we can talk about if the spa is something that you're like really excited about. We can talk about that later. Many times you're able to get your services at a discounted prices, and I will tell you how to do that if you decide to book. And then, of course, onboard shopping, some retail therapy. Many people like shopping on a cruise because of the duty-free shopping, and that's always nice. I know we went on an Ensenada cruise, and so we ended up doing, and it wasn't even an expensive something. It was just a little excursion that we booked while we were on the cruise. It was like a little wine and shopping tour, and they took us through a couple of wineries. And this one that they took us to for the wine tasting, though, oh my goodness, like we had bottles of wine that we brought back, with us. Of course it was duty free, but we saved it, and a good friend of mine put hers in a place where it was warm, and when she opened it, the wine had turned, because wine is supposed to stay chilled. Or at least at room temperature or below. But she was upset. She was like, "Oh my gosh, it went bad. And I was like, that's not good. And then of course we couldn't find it. Like, we couldn't find it in the US to go and buy it again. So we almost wanted to go back and book another cruise to Ensenada so that we could go back to the winery and order more of this, wine to bring back with us. So and that was just like a cheapo excursion. It wasn't even $50, $80, $100 per person. It was nothing like that. So usually the excursions, you're pretty happy when when you go. Okay, so that's my high level overview. Hallelujah, I made it through without without taking 2 hours. So they did say there are studio suites, which is for a solo traveler, a singleton traveler, an inside cabin, balcony, spas, mini suites, and havens. Just know that the studio is 1, the inside is 2 to 4 depending on the room category, and that goes up to the mini suite area, 2 to 4 depending. Haven suites are the luxury product, floor to ceiling windows, luxury drapes, depends on the room that you get, but sometimes they have like tables and living rooms and couches and like extra stuff and space, extra furniture and space in these rooms. So if you get into a Haven and that's your thing, you feel it, like this is the one that I need, then the perks that come with the cruise, you get all of them. So Norwegian is offering a free unlimited bar. The thing about the unlimited bar, I know I said this on the last video, but it's worth repeating. This is a 10-day cruise. The beverage packages are something like $69 per night. They include everything except for top shelf liquor. And if you multiply that over the 10 days of the cruise, you're looking at right at $700. Plus you pay tax and you pay gratuities, so it's something like $1,900, $1,800 when you put it all together for 2 people. And so let's just say you're in a room where you are the adult that drinks, but you have someone with you that doesn't drink. You still have to pay for 2 people because they know you would end up sharing drinks with someone else if they did it that way. So there is a caveat. Anyhow, they do not charge you for the open drink package. What you do get charged for is taxes and gratuities. It turned out on my reservation for myself and my husband, it was about $198 per person, but as opposed to paying $1,900, the extra $300 was like, okay, it's worth it. They're also offering free shore excursion credits. It's about $50 at each port, and the way that the information for the cruise states it says that it's up to $200 or up to $250, but that's for like a 5 to 7 day cruise, right? And this is a 10-day cruise, so I still have to check with Norwegian to find out if on the 10-day cruise you get the $50 deposit at every port. But this one has a total of 7 ports excluding San Juan, I want to say. So it would be 7, and that's right at $250, right? Also, you can choose specialty dining, and on a 7-day cruise, you get 2 nights of specialty dining included in the package. I'll get this out. However, on a 10-day cruise, I believe that it's something like 4 or 5 nights, something like that you get the specialty dining. Again, this is one of those things where the package, the dining portion is free, but the gratuities are not. Our gratuities, I put the information away. I don't have it right in front of my face, but I want to say it was like $13 a person or something. And because specialty dining is, absolutely 5 stars and up, and food that is just, like I said, the steakhouse, I know my whole family came back raving about it. They also really liked the Italian food. They really liked the pizza on board. Anyways, I got a lot of good feedback about the specialty dining. Of course, they were on the Getaway, I believe. Getaway or Breakaway, one of the two. But still, same restaurants and same recipes and whatnot. So anyways, to pay $13 for, 10 days, 5 different specialty dining, okay, I'll take it. Also, they give free Wi-Fi, and again, our marketing states that it's up to $150 value, something like that. But again, the marketing, I believe, assumes that most of the cruises are going to be between a 4 and 10 day, and this one has a couple extra days. Most people love that when they go on a cruise, what they're doing is cutting themselves off from, being bombarded with all the outside stuff that's going on in the world. So many people, they may get a Wi-Fi package so that they can, you know, upload pictures, say at a port or something like that, but not so much that they're constantly like still plugged into their social media. But if you're one of those people that's like, I don't want to be without my social media, the Wi-Fi package may be useful for you. There's also other ways that many times you're able to have cell phone signals without having to go into airplane mode. And if you decide to book with me, then we can talk about that later. And then lastly is friends and family free. So if you decided to book into a cabin or a category of room that accepts 3 to 4 cruisers, basically they have to pay port taxes and fees. That's pretty much it. And that's a steal. The other thing to keep in mind strongly is that this particular cruise is out of San Juan, so you would have to pay for round trip air. The last thing I want to do is just show you where exactly what ports the ship is going to hit. So for me, this is like the trip of a lifetime. Like, this is definitely one of those on the bucket list that I'll be able to check off. It has all the features that I wanted. So this is the cruise here. I believe I added links on the page already, but on Travel Start, but I'll do it again just in case they're not there. You see it's the free at sea, so it lists 4 items, and then the 5th is the extra guests for free, and that's the total of 5. So San Juan, Puerto Rico, Aruba, St. Lucia, Antigua, St. Martin, St. Thomas, and then back to San Juan. Oh, and St. Kitts. So it's a fairly big itinerary. You're gone for 10 days. It's worth it. I'm just saying. That's all. Here's a map to kind of give you an idea of all the places that you're going to hit on the cruise. Excellent. Wonderful. And I can't wait. These are some of the most beautiful tropical places on the planet. I want to show you pricing, or at least starting pricing. There we go. Solo guests, I'll have to get back with you on that one. If you want to know what the solo guest is, contact me and I'll let you know what solo costs. So inside start at $779, balconies at $1,149. That's for 10 days. It's not bad. Spas are $1,749, mini suites $1,449, and havens start at $4,199. Now these are per person, everything from inside cabin up, and they are double occupancy. These rooms require 2 passengers in the rooms. The only one that's not like that is the solo travelers. So just so that you know. And like I said, right now they still have their $50 deposits on this one. And I know because I booked my room, my cabin, for myself and my husband, and it was a $50 deposit. So, okay, so that is it. That's what I have for tonight. The only thing I wish they had, this is Liz talking because I'm visual. I like to see things. I wish they had videos of the cruise ports kind of in a cute little package. You know what I mean? They kind of all put it together so you can get an idea of where you're going and what you'll be seeing and that type of thing. But the other video does have some quick pictures of the areas and a little more in depth. I know that's a long video. It's like an hour or something, but if you're really thinking about going and you want to book into the group, then you kind of want that information. Most of us really want it. That's all. So that's it. I will be back as always next Sunday. Let's see, what's the date on Sunday? The 28th of April. Right around 7 p.m. That's usually about the time that I jump on. And if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate. Message, or you can call Travel Start. 916-877 9422 is the phone number. If you want to get more information about the cruise and or the Contiki, and you're interested in doing guided tours or anything else you might want to do. So there's my spiel for tonight, and thank you guys so much for for watching and hanging out with me. And we will see you guys again next Sunday. Until then, lots of love and happiness and warmth and just well wishes and gratitude. And I wish you really, really happy memories and great trips and excursions together. Love each other. And I'll see you on the next one. Okay? Bye.